Well, I get my first driving impressions of a 4C. Good morning everyone, welcome back to the vlog. I'm Sean and this is Dream Cars Daily. Today we're taking the Ferrari to a castle here in Kalamazoo. We have a literal castle here in Kalamazoo. I don't know of any other ones in Michigan, or certainly not any other ones close to us, but we have a castle here. We're gonna go do a walkthrough of the castle, and the owner has an Alfa 4C, and I think we're gonna do a little swap. He's gonna drive my car, I'm gonna drive the 4C. I've never driven one before, but I love those little things. They're amazing little cars, and not siblings, I would say cousins, the Ferrari and the Alfa, so should be a fun time. Today's turning out to be an interesting day. It's cloudy, but the sun is behind the clouds and it keeps coming through and it warms up and cools down. Anyway, here we are. This is the Henderson Castle. We are actually on one of the highest points in Kalamazoo, and from the roof of this you can see all around the city. It's a beautiful view from up here. The grounds are kept absolutely immaculate here. The place is just amazing. The owner, Francois, is gonna talk to us and give us a tour of the place and tell us a little bit about the history. I know some of it, but obviously he's gonna know a whole lot more than I do. So let's go find Francois and we'll get a look around. Good morning.
How are you?
She sounds lovely. I'm parked right up that way. Sure. I beat Francois here. He just showed up with his 4C, so he's going to give us a tour of the castle and tell us a little bit about the history. I know some about it, but obviously you owning it probably know almost all of the details of...
That's right.
Yeah.
Welcome to the castle. The Henderson Castle was built by Frank and Mary Henderson back in 1895.
1895.
Mm-hmm. So that's a true castle of the United States and registered landmark of the United States of America. It's a legit castle because we have two towers and one on top of the hill. So back in the day, in order to be called a castle, in the medieval time, you must be on the prominent landscape, surrounded by water, and minimum 2 towers so you can see the enemy coming.
I was wondering what made it a castle and not a mansion.
Yeah.
I mean, because obviously it's massive.
I didn't call it a castle. The community did, back in the day.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, I mean, it's a beautiful place, and you've done a lot of work to it since you bought it.
A lot.
I mean, I've lived in Kalamazoo my whole life, and I've seen the place, and I've been in it many times. But I know since you've purchased it, you've done tons of landscaping. We got the vineyard over there. We'll have to take a look at the vineyard. You make your own wine, correct?
We do. The parking lot was expanded. Also, put a new roof last year, sprinkler system for the fire protection 2 years ago, new kitchen, the wine cave over there. So we spent a lot of money the last 8 years just to keep it up and.
Yeah, there is a full restaurant here, which we'll take a look at, and it's now a bed and breakfast. A place this massive, honestly, the maintenance on it would be probably astronomical. I know you have to have multiple full-time staff.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to have groundskeepers and people just to maintain the ridiculous number of square feet you have here. So let's get a look around. Let's see the dining room, the kitchen, the amazing place that you have here.
So that's the,
You guys, if you're here in Kalamazoo, we're going to put a link in the description below. This is a bed and breakfast. You can come stay here. We'll show you a couple of the rooms, and you can actually stay in one of these rooms for a night and stay in a castle.
That's right. So that's the dining room here. The restaurant here opened in 2012, a few months after I bought the castle. And we have a regular restaurant, and then we have also a bar over there.
We have the dining room here
But the dining room,
for your restaurant, and this was probably originally like the parlor?
there was a parlor. Back in the day, there was a parlor. The dining room of the Henderson was in this room here, which is now the private dining room. But back in the day, that's where they was having dinner. There was the private dining room. That was like a reception parlor area over there.
So this would have been more private for the family here, and this would have been more public for guests. So out here, or parts of it.
You can imagine certainly a couple of coffee table and court back in the day. That's where they were socializing and welcoming guests of the castle. In this area here, you get the bar, which at the time was the library, and we turned that into a bar and remodeled the place to open the world, making it a little bit more contemporary.
And I heard something at one point, was this the first elevator in Michigan or the first private elevator in Michigan?
It was one of the very first ones, yes, back in the day.
In Michigan or in the United States?
Michigan.
Okay. So I know there was a big rush to get the elevator done because they wanted to beat somebody else that was also installing an elevator.
Yeah, 1895 was a time where people have a lot of money. They was building mansions all around the country. The most celebrated one is the Biltmore House, with a true castle as well. And it's about 10 times bigger. And it's
Oh my goodness.
Louis Philippe II style. It's more like Chateau de la Loire.
Okay.
This house here is actually Queen Anne Victorian. You have a beautiful window here, which comes from Cincinnati, Ohio, and arrived at the castle in 1897.
I'm guessing it's mad about the key. Yep. It was angry about the key. So these 4Cs are essentially a full carbon tub. They're like a little mini supercar. They're a lot of car for the money. What you pay for one of these is like half of what you would pay for a comparable Ferrari, and you get like 90% of the experience because they're just so small and light. But you can see the carbon fiber tub, carbon fiber dash. For this money, man, it's a lot of car. So it's a supercar that even has a little bit of a trunk.
A little.
You got that nice little trunk behind your motor.
Yeah, sometimes I go.
Is there a front trunk as well?
No.
No. Spare tire? Probably spare tire up front. Nothing.
No. If you
If you break down, you're just out of luck.
yeah, give it up, AAA.
So I didn't know this about the 4C, but the front hood here does not come. It doesn't open. He was saying that we've got tiny little access panels for things like washer fluid and whatnot, and apparently people have taken this off and gotten underneath there, but there is essentially nothing. There is no space, there's nothing there. I'm guessing probably just like a radiator. Well, I get my first driving impressions of a 4C. That does not sound like a normal 4-cylinder. I'll tell you what, the Italians know how to make a motor sound good.
I mean, that's
Even the tiny little Fiats with like a 1.4 liter, they sound amazing.
yeah. And and you're gonna see when the turbocharge, when it clicked on, I mean, you go, and then it's like, I was at 147 highway. You recording?
Oh yeah.
And so
In Mexico, a highway in Mexico.
Germany. And so even at 147, you push it and it just
Still goes.
go like 220.
Yeah, I had my Bentley. I had my Bentley over 170, and it was still pulling hard. Like, it did not feel like it was out of juice.
Right.
All right, well, let's get in and take her for a spin. Yeah, gotta get to the seatbelt. Oh, it will not stop yelling at you, will it? Being that these are so closely related, I mean, they're made by the same company. I think the driving here is gonna be, like, I've already got your situation here figured out.
Well, it's owned by Fiat, so...
Right. They're cousins.
Yeah, they are like...
And these seats are fixed, or they move a little? Nope, they do move a little.
Yeah.
But these are bolted. I mean, I can already feel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you feel every bump. You're like right on the floor. Everything is very, very direct. I'm not pushing it too hard because it's not my car, but the steering in the Ferrari is very direct. But I think this is even without the power steering. I think this is even more direct. You just very, very minor movement in the wheel, and it's
right.
You feel it. And these seats are very, very nice. They're very, very tight. They hug you really well. Like, you could very easily take this out on a track comfortably and track it pretty hard, and feel like you're not going anywhere. Oh, and that right there, that is a beautiful view. From the driver's seat, you look out the back window, you get to see a little bit of the traffic behind you, and you get to see that motor right there. Got a nice roundabout coming. When you've got a car that handles really well, I love to take a roundabout. You get to really feel how it hugs the road. I'm nowhere near at full throttle, and it's accelerating quickly enough for me, being not my car. I don't.
Oh, it's
If I drove it for a few days, I would know my limits in it. But does it have full traction control and everything? Will it keep you in line, or will it just let you?
Oh yeah.
It'll let you go if you. Mm-hmm. So you're kind of on your own.
Yeah. Oh, you go 0 to 60 in like 3.6. It's super fast because it's so light. So you make it a turbo fixed on and you just like...
Race car theory, lighter is faster.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for letting me drive your car. That was a fun little experience.
My pleasure.
This one's going to be a little honestly a little more comfortable. There's more creature comforts, and you see it's not yelling at you about the seatbelt.
Yeah.
Carbon ceramic brakes on this are amazing. They'll stop on a dime and give you change.
You need that.
You were looking for it like your car. Your car, the paddles move with the steering wheel. And I saw you reach for it. I did the same thing with yours. I almost missed a shift because I expected the paddle to be stationary. So you have more cars than just your 4C, right?
Yeah.
So you've got to have something else to drive when the roads are really bad. And
well, yeah, I get the CRV, I get the white truck, and I get the Escape.
Okay.
For the winter. Yeah, the November, the 4C go to garage. Heated garage for the winter.
Probably a good idea. Me, I'll drive this all winter long, but I'm crazy.
Well, I grabbed back on November 9. I went to Bahamas thinking, I'm good, the first snowstorm, remember, well, like the first week of November, I drove back from Detroit with the 4C, leaving to the Bahamas, beautiful sunshine, it was 55 degrees, come back, it was like 25 degrees, and snowstorm, 2 inches of snow on the ground. I drove 35 miles an hour. It took me 4 hours. I was like,
Oh man, yeah, that's... I'm getting used to that. That just seems to be, like, it seems to be the way things work for me. If I go east, when I come back, I hit weather. It's happened like the last 5 times. That's how I got into an accident with my Bentley. Went east, came back, snowstorm. The last time I was in Detroit for a car show, come back, snowstorm.
Right.
And it's like, I swear, it's just my luck. I go to Detroit or I go to Ohio. When I come back on I-94, snowstorm. Stairs to the roof and quite the door. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. It's a sliding door.
Freud did that back in 1981.
That's right.
And so, little bit of Prague, that's why a little bit more difficult, but yeah, so we put a bar on the roof last year.
So we've got the bar up here and the view.
And the view.
So we're standing on top of the castle.
Right.
We've got the towers and
Downtown Kalamazoo.
that's downtown Kalamazoo there. Way out there in the distance, I don't know if it's going to come up in video, but there's a water tower way out there. That would probably be Battle Creek, right?
Actually, that's a Pfizer plant with the airport over there. Battle Creek is straight over. You see the tower in the very, very far end over there. That's Battle Creek.
Oh, okay.
And then Plainwood is here.
We've got Western Michigan University out here.
All that is Western Kalamazoo College land. And then you can see the 4-acre of land of the castle with the vineyard and the orchard and the wedding ground.
That's a nice view. We've got the vineyard, an Alfa 4C, and a Ferrari.
Yeah.
That's a good day right there. Well, Francois, thank you for sharing your castle with me, your car.
Anytime.
And like I said, we're going to put a link in the description below. If you're in Kalamazoo, come stay the night in a castle.
Absolutely.